Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and it's time for Thankful Thursday. I know I've been getting my videos out really early, and today I had an issue. I couldn't come up with something that I truly wanted to talk about, and like no words were popping into my head. So I texted my friend Rhoda over at Peace Be Still. Thanks, Rhoda. I love you, girl. And we got to talking, and it was like I just couldn't come up with anything, and we started talking about my son and a few other things, and I know it kind of coincides with last week's, but the word that kept coming up was persistence. And yeah, so it kind of goes along with last week's about, never giving up. So I figured maybe we can come up with a few different things to say so that it's not the same thing. All right. So what I came up with is Matthew 7:7-8. Ask and it will be given you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Luke 18:1. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. Hebrews 10:36. We need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. So, let's hope we don't run too much into last week's, because I still don't know what I need to say. So, let's go to prayer, and maybe it'll come to me. Heavenly Father, thank you for each and every person that's here today and just pops in or that's here every day. I ask you to guide me through this word persistence. And I ask that you wrap your arms around each and every person, and you know that what their needs are, and I ask that you help them with it. I ask that if they ask you, they will receive. I know that it's not always in our time, and your time is different. But some of the requests that people have are things that they need now, and I'm sure that you know that. I ask that with all the changes coming into this world right now, that you watch over our world, our entire world, and that maybe we can find peace and get along with each other, and that we can survive as our own nations. I want you to know that we love you, we trust in you, and we believe in you, and we follow you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Alrighty. Nothing came to me. But anyway. So I kind of wanted what I made today to kind of go along with my what grandma cooked thing. And I was looking over at the amount of bananas that were left. And Tom only has 2 more days. And I'm like, I should do something with bananas. And I'm not quite sure how she made it. Because, I didn't ask her. But my grandma always made amazing banana cream pie. So we're going to make it, but the easy way, and I think she did it the same way. I'm not sure. But we're going to do it the easy way. I used to just love it. I love it. My grandpa used to, he'd have bread, and he'd put gravy over top of it, and when she didn't make him his banana cream pie, that's what he'd call his banana cream pie. He was something. So I bought a 5.1 ounce of banana cream pudding. This asks for vanilla, but I figured we're making banana cream pie, why use vanilla? So anyways, and 1 3/4 cups of water instead of the 3 that it asks for. And I'm not going to use my electric thing. I'm just going to do this myself. Why not? So persistent. We were talking about some things, and some of them are pretty personal, so I won't be talking about those. But, what made me think about it is some things that we had talked about today. And, I think that whether it's in business, in life, in whatever it happens to be, you know, especially in careers and, you know, things like that, if we're not persistent, it doesn't come through, you know, like, I know being in sales, sometimes, you know, like, you wouldn't close the deal the first time, and you'd have to go back, and then you'd have to go back again, and then you'd have to answer questions and whatever. And had I just given up that first time, probably wouldn't have got him. Like, one of my customers, he isn't a customer anymore because he finally retired. And he had retired from being a police chief, or fire chief, sorry. And then they did auctions for, I think, the family altogether, like almost 100 years or something. And he finally retired, which is good. And, you know, it took a couple trips down there, and it was down by where I go to that grocery store in Bronson. And it took a couple trips down there and talking to him. And he actually changed the company that he had been with for over 30 years. So that's quite an accomplishment. Now we're going to use half of a container of whipped cream. And we're going to put that in there. I guess persistence can be a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like in my example that her and I were talking about today, it was persistent to keep in communication with the person that I wanted to still be in their life and whatever, and you had to be persistent about it and not give up on them. I think sometimes, like, we're so quick to throw in the proverbial towel. You know what I mean? Like, we just really are. Because we get so tired of fighting it, and this is just not going to make any sense today. I can tell already. So now we're going to take a banana, and it cut off the top of it. That wasn't good. We're going to take a banana, and we're going to slice it in the bottom. Let's get rid of that. We don't want that in there. These bananas have gotten, like, really ripe real quick lately. Might have to use another banana. But I think persistence comes in all different shapes and forms. Like, you know, if you're, whether it's you're persistent about a job, or you're persistent about a relationship, or whatever it happens to be, you know, I think that's the only way you kind of get ahead. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, these bananas are, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to have to grab one more probably. Use like 1.5 per thing here. I'll grab another one in just a minute. Alright, so now you want to take half of that filling and put over top of the banana. I know I told Tom what I was going to make, and I says, I'm sure that breaks your heart, doesn't it? He goes, yeah, it sure does. Alright, let me grab that other banana. Hold on one second. And ta-da, there'll still be 2 left. One for Friday and one for Saturday for him. So that works out. I don't know, maybe it's not even persistence I'm supposed to talk about today. Maybe it's a range of things. I don't know. Things that we all feel in our heart here and there, you know. I think right now, a lot of us are going through, my lip is itching. a lot of different thoughts and feelings, and maybe I should have talked about change. I don't know. There's so many changes coming up. You know, if you live here in the United States, we're going to have a new president shortly. You know, there's a peace deal hopefully being directed over in Israel. And, you know, maybe we can get peace other places, you know, in the world. But you know what? Kinda. That does fit with persistence too, doesn't it? Because if you decide that you're not going to give up until you get that peace, I guess that's persistence too, right? Huh. Well, looky there. I'll try not to keep it a long video today because I know that I'm not making any sense. So now we're going to put the rest of that on top of there. You guys, this smells so good. Oh, I might just have to lick the bowl and not call Jack over to do it. But I think that I know this much about persistence, is that, like, even with my channel, if I just gave up every time that, you know, I get down or anything like that, then I wouldn't have a channel. You know, I would have given up a long time ago. Look at that, how fancy I made it. Kidding. And then we're going to put the rest of that whipped cream on top of that. I think whipped cream was one of the best things ever invented, to be honest with you. And what's funny, I love whipped cream, but I don't like the one in the bottle. I can't stand it. Ugh. It's just gross. Other people love it. I'm just not one of them. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? You'll get to see it tonight for dessert. I'll put that in the refrigerator here in a few minutes. And then it'll chill really good before Tom gets home tonight. So persistent. I'm being persistent right now. I guess the biggest thing was when I read the Bible verse that says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And the one who knocks, the door will be opened. And someone that I loved very dearly, she used to always say to me, if you don't ask, the answer's always no. And she was right. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So I think that we need to remember, whether it's with God, family, friends, career, whatever it happens to be, if it means that much to us, we have to be persistent. We have to go after it day after day. Sometimes week after week, month after month. You know, imagine if you had, you know, for instance, a husband or a wife, and one date didn't go good and you were just like, but there was that little bit of inkling in there that says, push on, you know. I watched something on Facebook and the lady said that she hated her husband when she first met him. She was like, ugh. And then he was there because he forgotten his keys and they'd never been apart after that. And my ex-husband's mom, she didn't like my father-in-law when she first met him either. And yet after he passed away, she said there was no one that could ever take his place because there was no one like him. So he was persistent. He'd come into the restaurant all the time. And finally she seen something that, you know, was good. I don't know. And they were married for a lot of years. So, you know, like I say, whether it's with God and like I keep asking God, you know, show me the way to get closer to you. Help teach me to retain what I read. You know, stuff like that. And it's like I ask him, but I think deep in my heart, I know that I have to do that parts on my own. You know what I mean? And so me persistently asking him to help me. Maybe he says, you know, you got to figure that out for yourself. And that could be. You know, and we think about, you know, jobs and, you know, things like, let's say maybe a company closed down or whatever, and, you know, that door closes. And I can remember getting so upset about different things like that, you know, but the bottom line is, you live through it, you learn through it, hopefully, and your persistence keeps you going, because all of a sudden there's this other door, and sometimes it's a lot better door. Like, what was that one game show? Price is Right? No, not Price is Right. You know, they'd like let you choose an envelope or what's behind door number 1, 2, or 3, whatever. Maybe it's like that. And our persistence keeps us going. I know this is like one of those videos that are really way out there today, but I guess my main thought is, with persistence, I'm not giving up on YouTube, and I'm not giving up on any of you. And I am not giving up on my family and friends. You know, I'm not giving up on God. I'm going to be persistent about all of them. And I know that in the end, everything was for a reason. So when you're persistent and you actually achieve what you want, you ever get that? Sometimes you fight so hard for something, and then when you get it, you're like, why did I want that? Sometimes I think God allows us to have that because we're like, ugh, what was I thinking? But today, even though this doesn't make any sense, I guess you got to see me make a pie, but maybe you can put in the comments below, what is something that you were very persistent about and it came out to be amazing? Like, I know one thing I was very persistent about, being a mom. And through all the, you know, miscarriages and everything, I just never gave up, and I was very persistent. And now I have 2 children. Well, I have 3 with Nate, but yeah. And with this, my channel, I'm being persistent, and yeah, there's so many things that, wow, you just can't give up. You just can't give up. You've got to be persistent in what you want to do. So write down below and say some things that maybe you were very persistent about and you got what you wanted and you were happy about it. And then write down if you got it and you were like, so anyways, it's not a long video today. Sorry guys. Sometimes words just don't come to my head, and I just don't know what I'm saying, but I don't want to let you guys down and not do a Thankful Thursday either. And I kind of wanted banana cream pie. Hello. So I want you guys to know I appreciate you and I love you. And, you know, if you have prayer requests, always make sure you put it down below, because people do read the comments and they will pray for you. That's just the kind of group that we have. And I have another collab that I'm doing with Mountain Grandma and 2 other groups, and it's going to be for Valentine's Day. I'm so excited. Thanks, Renee, for different Renee, for, you know, suggesting me. I think it's going to be fun. I haven't decided what I want to do. And if any of you want to join What Grandma Cooked, make sure you just put hashtag What Grandma Cooked at City or Homestead. And let's add to that list and see what else we can make. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe too. So many of you are not subscribed. Anyways, thank you for understanding them babbling today. And hopefully you like tonight's supper, and hopefully you like the banana cream pie. And I am going to lick the bowl. Jack's not getting it this time. So you guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing and know that you're loved. And I will see you at supper.